Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video we have the final point farming event over here on OPTC against the Blue Flame Marco. And in today's video I have two teams for you guys to take down both the 40 stamina event, and then I have an auto team as well because the auto strat, it reigns supreme. So the first team utilizes a friend captain Jack. We are using Queen as our captain. So that was the team, those are the supports. Let's dive on in. So with the combination of Queen and Jack, we can basically build out a driven sort of centric team. Now, Bardo Cavendish and Marco are pretty much the only two accessible characters that you guys can use unless you've done summons or anything like that. So I've tried to exclude stuff like Hawkins and Killer, those particular characters, and sort of keep it very accessible or buildable for you guys. So the team it's been around for a little while. Like, ulti's been on every single banner, Queen's been out forever, and I'm pretty sure that is the Big Mom Perispero that came out with V3 Big Mom. Now, on turn 2, you want to switch with Bardo Cavendish and then not attack with them, because on stage 3, you need that quick orb to take down the barrier against Hyoguro. So very important that you do that, but you can also use the Mr. 3 support. That is another very good support to guarantee you that orb if you actually stuff up, because ulti's not boosted, just remember that. So very, very annoying there. On stage 4, there is 5 turns of Despair, 2 turns of Bind after sockets. So with the Whitebeard support and the Sweet 3, we can get around the Despair. Then Jack is going to remove the Bind. Jack also gives us the resistance down, and then to remove the block orbs, we have Perispero. On this stage 2, we can use the Queen special. You can also use Marco. He's going to give you base stats. And then switch with Bardo Cavendish again to give you the orb buff. Now, Bardo Cavendish works exceptionally well under Queen because Bardo Cavendish will trigger the auto trigger of Queen because of the switch ability. So that works really nicely. Remember, ulti's not boosted, so start the chain with her. And that way you can get the chain boundary into the next stage with Queen. On the final stage, you get the auto trigger. You get 5 turns of special bind, 2 turns of special reverse. Marco has 5 turns of defense up and gives you 5 turns of attack down. Ulti's going to remove the attack down. She removes the special bind. The special bind doesn't really matter too much. It's more about just removing the attack down. But she has the support of Who's Who. And then with the auto trigger of Queen, you get the cooldowns, and it kind of all just works out super hunky-dory. Use the super class of Jack there, and that way you can get the super tandem thanks to ulti and Queen. And then as you guys can see, it's a pretty easy kill, even without the tap of Bardo Cavendish with the orb boost. So that was the team. It works really, really well. If you guys are struggling for some units, I'm sure there's some other teams floating around. I've seen a lot of teams that don't use the full boost, but this team is a full boost without using some of the newer characters, and it's a lot more buildable. So you get 8 guaranteed drops, 9 guaranteed drops with Bardo Cavendish, and then you have like the 50% chance with 75% chance with everything else. So if you guys can't build that team, or if you're like me and you just think that, like, screw doing the 40 stamina, I can just hit auto and basically just let the game rock while I do other things, well, Marco is actually boosted. And with the anniversary ship, you guys can get quite a bit of XP just by playing the game. So chuck it on auto, bring a Marco. However, I found that the quickest and easiest way to do this was to actually activate the super class of Marco first and then hit the auto button and then just let it rock there. Not only is it much faster, but it's just a lot smoother, and you can actually one turn every single stage. Works incredibly well. Marco gives you 2.25 times XP. Double Marco works quite nicely, and we have Bardo Cavendish on this team for the extra drop as well. You have the 50% drop with everyone else, so you have a chance of getting 6 drops, but most of the time you'll at least get like the 1 extra. But remember, this is more about sort of just getting XP rather than getting the actual turtles. So if you wanted to get actual turtle drops, you could easily just run Jack as your friend captain. I know Pappy's put out a team, so I'll link his down below. He's basically the original idea master of the auto strat team. So yeah, I'll leave a link to his team down below as well. So on the final stage, basically the final tap of Straw Hat is basically going to carry us through. Them boosted is helping out a lot, and with the support of Whitey Bay and Neko, we can remove the attack down, plus Whitey Bay gives you a attack boost, a chain boost, which is super handy as well. The Kuja Pirates on the speed rare recruit help out on stage 4, and Bob's your uncle, see you later. That's the auto team. If you wanted to get more XP, Marco's going to work absolutely great. But if you want more drops, you do want to bring Jack as a friend captain, so that way you get the guaranteed 3 drops, and then bring Bardo Cavendish and the free-to-play Marco, so that way you guys get a bit higher chance of some drops there as well. But double Marco, it's always fun to get XP, especially around now, because the ship is boosted. The final team, though, is a no Jack team, buildable team in terms of not using some of the newer characters. However, it's pretty heavy investment. It still uses Marco, it still uses Bardo Cavendish, but we do have the treasure map rare recruit Rogue. I know a lot of people probably don't have the treasure map rare recruit Rogue, but he's exceptional for this fight, so I really wanted to include him here. He's very, very good, very, very powerful. But this team is very, very tight for damage. I have a lot of investment, level limit break, 5 on Straw Hat Crew and Yamato. Kinemon Dendro, they're all limit break expanded. Bardo Cavendish is 150. Like, it's a bit of a yikes, to be honest. But I just wanted to show you guys that you can do it with a full boosted team that doesn't use the latest batch, like the batches that I've basically said skip, like Basil Hawkins, Bonnie, and this new Jack batch. And the boosted list is actually pretty good. Like, in terms of the 50% drops, the boosted list does have a lot of very powerful characters. It just doesn't have characters that work exceptionally well for getting around the content that we need to get around. So that's why a lot of people have resorted to using non-boosted units. And I do understand why. But for myself, I'm always in the mentality whenever I'm making these videos to try and bring out a full boosted team. To get around Hyogoro's barrier, we have the quick orb thanks to Bardo Cavendish, and on this stage we're actually going to use the Yamato special. Now ideally you want an orb on Yamato, the friend captain, because Kinemon Dendro and Straw Hat Crew can guarantee themselves an orb. With the super type of Yamato as well, you can lock them, and that way you move into the next stage with at least 3 Wano orbs. I don't know if like needing all 3 is like essential, but it definitely helps out, because on the chopper stage you get a full board of block orbs. He has 6 turns of damage reduction, and he gives you bind on your bottle and middle row for 2 turns after sockets, and gives you 5 turns of despair. So you get a lot of nasty stuff, but with Conjurer and Whitebeard, we can actually get around all that. Switch with Kinemon Dendro here, that's going to give us the resistance down, and then to remove the damage reduction, we can use their special. We also get an orb boost, we also get base stats for our slashes and our free spirit units, and we can only use 1 special in this stage too, so just using their special helps out a lot. But unfortunately, there's no one else that could sort of remove block orbs, so they were kind of the best thing, and then using Yamato on the turn before to keep the Wano orbs, I found was probably the best strat. Or you could do something like Straw Hat Crew on the previous turn, but the damage on the final stage, like I said, it's very, very tight. Like, it's very tight. So it's a bit of a yikes again, as I was saying. On to the final stage against Marco. He turns into a side character, gives you special bond on your sailors, 2 turns special reverse, the 5 turns of defense up, and the 5 turns of attack down. Brule is going to give Straw Hat Crew their cooldowns, so that way you can actually just use their special. And then literally just with the Straw Hat Crew special is all we're going to use to try and take down this final stage. Your Rogue is actually going to remove the attack down. Not only that, but he gives you 1 turn of cooldown. So if you can figure out a way to get that, like another turn of cooldown, like, you're in good stead. But unfortunately, you can't use the Marco special. Marco gives cooldowns as well, so like, he would be a good option. But it just didn't work in our favor for that unit. So it is what it is. Switch with Bardo Cavendish because Barto is a striker. That way you're getting double boosted. He's doing a little bit more damage. Any damage is good damage because Straw Hat Crew is going to double it. And even with the defense up, we can get the kill. So that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. Remember, use the auto strat if you're struggling. It's way more beneficial for newer and mid-game players. If you enjoyed the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.